Okay, guys, we are live. Hit the like, hit the share, give the sub, show us you care. We're going to talk about number 7 goals. It's 7 o'clock. It's seventh heaven. What a win. Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0 yesterday. It was surreal. It was like Salvador Dali at work, really. Mo Salah, the king of Egypt, getting all the plaudits today. Of course, record-breaking Premier League goal scorer of all time. Broke Robbie Fowler's 128 Premier League goals. He is on now 129, and he's going to shatter it, to be fair. And just an overall unbelievable performance from the Reds, especially the front three. The front three were absolutely electric. And my new song is now out, an album. Let's talk about 7, baby. Let's talk about all the wins. Let's talk about all the trophies in our cabinet that we have. Let's talk about 7. Let's talk about 7. What's 6 now? It's 7.
Brilliant.
Ivan, how are you? At Ivan Jennings on Twitter. So you're a happy camper.
Very happy camper. Great result. Great performance. Fucking battered them. I thought we'd win, but I thought we'd nick it.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were gonna put in the kind of performance that we did. And as you were saying before the show, I think the game was starting to take the shape of some of the recent games where we were playing really well and then just having a shaky couple of minutes where United were coming back in, and obviously Rashford had a really good chance. And I think Fernandez's header was closer than it
just
looked.
wide.
And then we get the goal, smashing team goal just before half time, and the second goal just blew them. So it was like if it had gone on for another 10 or 15 minutes, we probably would have broke
the 9 record
because they were just gone. Like Fernandez was gone, Anthony was gone, Martinez was gone. Their heads were gone. They were out of the game completely. And we could have scored more. Like, we actually could have scored more goals. It was fucking incredible. Like,
but as you said, I mean, the game, we started first 20, you would say we were decent. You know, we were up for it. The crowd was up for it. I knew we would be. I said it the other day. I thought we'd win 2-1, not 7-0. But I knew we'd be up for it. And even Souness knew it as well. He could probably feel the electricity. They had a terrible record there, Ivan. I don't know how they were coming into the game so confident.
Yeah.
We've an unbelievable. They've only scored one goal against them in the league at Anfield since 2016.
We've scored 36 goals against them in the last 11 games.
Yeah, and they've only scored 1.
Yeah. I know so, they've an absolutely shocking record. Like, you hear them before the game. In fairness to Ferguson and Neville, they're very honest about it. And even Ferdinand, I was listening to today.
Well, Ferdinand said he's really confident going into the game.
Oh yeah, but they, after the fact, they're all saying how difficult a place it is to come, and when the crowd is up for it, it's a tough place to be. And I've been there lots of times over the years, and when the atmosphere is up, it's a frightening place. The Liverpool players look bigger than they are. The opposition players look smaller than they are. It's intimidating, and I think the crowd had a huge part to play yesterday. But the team themselves, like, Klopp has to be given a lot of praise for how he's turned them around over the last couple of games, and like they're nowhere near where they were. But yesterday was kind of a reminder of what the team can actually do. Not concede, another clean sheet, and
5 in a row, 5 league clean
really
sheets in a row. The 5-star hotel is starting to come back with no clean sheets.
But I think it's the goals. Like, if you're scoring 7 goals in a game, you don't really need to worry about what's going on at the back, right?
And we only had 8 shots. That must be a record to have 8 shots and score 7. That has to be a record.
Crazy, yeah. No,
we were breaking records. We were like the Beatles yesterday. Mo Salah breaking the bleeding Premier League record with 129, surpassing God, Roberto Fowler. I mean, the records were just falling yesterday. Obviously, United's biggest loss, I think, since 1931 in the top flight. Wolves beat them 7-0, I think, back in 1931, pre-World War II. Yeah. I mean, the records just kept falling. And there is no better team to break a record against. That's, of course, United. I'm sure they'd say the same about us.
Totally.
Exactly the same. So I'm gonna get every little bit of ounce out of this for the next few days. I'm gonna go live every single day of the tournament, because this, as I say, is a 90 years in the making, baby.
It is. No, just incredible. And like, social media was hopping last night, and it was just brilliant. Now, again, the United fans trying to take the sting out of it, that it's a blip, and they've had results like this over the last couple of years. United were.
I think that's a bit more than a blip.
It's more than that, right? And I think, as we were saying before the show, this is pretty much the same team, a slightly better version of the one that we beat a couple of times over the last couple of years by bringing in the likes of Martinez, and maybe Anthony, but
Casemiro
in there. Casemiro was nowhere. Casemiro was nowhere to be seen. Yeah, Casemiro was nowhere to be seen. And I think what they were saying before the game, when he first came into the club, when Ten Hag first came into the club, he wanted to play football, and they were getting spanked. And now he's gone back to a much more kind of solid, 4-2-3-1. They're much more resilient, but they're a counter-attacking team. It's as simple as that. They don't dominate the ball. They don't want to dominate the ball. And I think yesterday they probably thought, right, Liverpool are going to have lots of the ball, and we're just going to pick them off. And
I think with 60% possession.
Yeah.
Look, as you say, 8 shots on target, 7 goals, 60% possession. As you say, it was a tight game. Even at half-time, it was only 1-0. You know what I mean? United were still in it. Even at 2-0, you'd still be a little bit worried with 20 minutes to go. But the third goal went in. Salah to equal. That half sort of volley, I thought it broke the bloody crossbar, to be fair.
Yeah,
I actually thought
with his right foot as well.
Oh,
couldn't believe it. It was absolutely delicious,
Gakpo second.
Incredible.
What was that? What was
to take it over the keeper. Unbelievable.
Oh, it wasn't as if they were there. Okay, there was one or two. Salah's break the record was sort of a tap in. It was a bad mistake. You say Bobby's was a weird one. I think it went through De Gea's legs.
It did.
Great for Bobby to come on as well, wasn't it? The week amazing. He's had. You know what I mean?
You could hear wherever the camera was for Sky Sports. You could just hear two little kids laughing with the last 2 goals. It was absolutely incredible, and for Bobby to get that one, like with him saying he's moving on next season, you could just see in his face the absolute delight. He knows exactly what it means to Liverpool fans to score against United.
Do you know what I would have loved to hear Martin Tyler say? Do you remember when he said about Aguero, the goal, "You'll never see anything like this again"? He should have said that against 5-0 at Old Trafford. You'll never see anything like that again, you're right.
Yeah, in fairness to him yesterday, he was
a bit more animated, wasn't he?
He was.
I think he was trying to get at Neville.
There's not a whole lot you can say about it. Like I think Neville made a bit of a gobshite of himself at the end of the game, saying Liverpool didn't play that well. It's a freak result, and I think Souness and Carragher tore him one.
Neville, Neville. Liverpool didn't even play that well. You're right. We actually did in first half. We were okay. Yeah. Second half, we just blew his away. Did you see Souness? Souness was on the ball from the very foot.
Big time.
Souness was ready to rock. And Keane and Neville were there standing, and he was ripping into them. You're not gonna. In other words, we're not losing this game today, son.
Yeah.
And then at the end, smirking in the corner. Did you see him? That was unbelievable.
I even think Kelly Dalglish as well. She was the same. She was absolutely brilliant. She was ripping them out of it.
It is Dalglish's daughter,
He's totally he's a United fan, and you can see that. But I was listening to his podcast this morning as well. They were annihilated in the second half. They were absolutely annihilated, and you could see the likes of Fernandes maybe losing the captaincy over some of his behaviour.
I don't like him. I don't hate him. Yeah, I don't like him. He looks like a rat. He looks like a rat.
He does. He tried to get a penalty when he left his leg.
See the one where he pushed the linesman,
and then Konate tapped him in the chest, and he goes down holding his face.
Yeah,
he's a fucking.
And he's
scumbag.
The captain. He's the club captain of Manchester. He'll be stripped straight away. Man, Ten Hag won't take that. He'll be
horrible
stripped
person.
Straight away.
Yeah, horrible person. And then at the end, whatever, 5 minutes to go, and he's looking to be taken off. Like, fuck off.
Was that true? I don't know about that.
I think it was. Yeah. Yeah.
That would, if that ever came out. Now, I did see Neville and a few of them tweeting, Goldbridge today tweeting that it wasn't that he was asking about substitution because he was the club captain, saying, he shouldn't
be asking about substitutions. Do you know what I mean? He's the captain. He's out there playing. Do you know what I mean? He gave up. Was it Harvey Elliott went past him on the right hand side about 10 minutes to go, and he just stopped. It's kind of like, what? This is, you're playing for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is the biggest game of the season. You're in the top 3. You're trying to push on and potentially prove that you're on your way back, or you might be.
And it's not as if he's he's been there a few years, so he knows Liverpool United. He knows all about it.
And he has been a very good player for them over the last couple of years. He's won them games He's highly regarded by the United fans. But yesterday, he was an absolute disgrace. Disgrace. In the biggest game of the season. It's always going to be the biggest game for United. And he let himself down. He really did. You don't give up.
Do you know what? They're talking about Souness, but I do like Souness. He's a 70s, 80s boy. I mean, he played for Liverpool in the 70s, 80s. He was a proper hard
he was
man.
A hard man.
Call him that. And
he's probably,
I don't care what he says in interviews because he's from that era. And I love him for that.
He's probably, over time, if you think about one of the hardest men in football,
he's
right up there with fucking Vinnie Jones and the toughest players. He did it in Liverpool, he did it in Scotland, he did it in Turkey, and did it in Italy. He was a.
Do you remember the one where he placed the flag?
Yeah.
He placed the bleeding flag, and he did a ride on the ground into the centre circle when he was in Turkey.
He was a hard man. And
Seven Hag is right.
I value his opinion. He's as you said, he's from when football was real football.
Real deal. He was a
player. He was a player.
He was at football when the player played brilliantly. They were called man of the match, not player of the match.
Exactly.
And I'll be calling him man of the match. I won't be calling anything player of the match. That's bullshit.
He scored. He was an up and down player. He scored goals. He could tackle. He was a leader. Top player.
Listen, Roy Keane was similar though. I suppose you have to say that. Roy Keane was similar. I respect him for that. He was a hard man. He was a proper.
Yeah. And in fairness to Keane, Keane came out at the end and said, "Listen, if I played in that team, I'd go missing for months. Absolutely shambles."
Oh, I say Keane was had to be embarrassed for him. His levels, like looking at your man Fernandes when he was the club captain, or a Brian Robson being a captain of United, and you're looking at your man Fernandes.
But even up to half time, United, Keane and Neville were quite content at 1-0 at half time. They're like, this is cool. I'd much prefer to Liverpool or United are in a much better position. They've come back from 1-0 many times over the season. We're going to get back into this game. And then by the end, it was bloodbath. Absolute bloodbath.
I'm hoping this does the Barcelona and United and they never recover. Remember that, the 4-0 at Barcelona? I mean, this has to rank. I mean, I'm not talking about Champions League or Cup games, but as a league game, as in top flight, I mean, it has to be up there. It has to be
definitely right. So think of the 5-0, right? The 5-0, we were absolutely flying.
That's probably our best away result, definitely in the Premier League. I'm on about all time here.
I think it's up there for a few reasons. Like the 5-0, we were the best team in the world back then. We really were. We were scoring goals for fun. We were rock solid at the back, and we won that game. After 60 minutes, we were 5-0 up, and we took our foot off the gas there.
Could have been an 8 or 9 there.
Could have easily been an 8 or 9 there, right? But yesterday, given where we are, and we're in the doldrums, relatively speaking, to where we have been, and where United think they are, third in the league, possibly going for second, we fucking battered them. And I think it probably is our best ever result.
Best Premier League anyway, you'd have to say.
Easy, yeah.
Probably best Premier League results because it was, as you said, 7-0. Like I don't even know the odds. Someone told me today in work it was nearly 1,000 to 1, or it had to be something like that. Because it's never been done before.
Yeah, like I was looking at the prices. I think we were slight favourites to win on Paddy Power, but only
usually we're 7 to 4 or something,
Yeah. But to get that, man, and I just think, as I said, if the game had gone on for another 10 minutes. We could have scored another 3 or 4 goals.
Maybe.
They were literally, and I think that's probably, Carragher said the same thing in the 5-0. We took our foot off the gas in the 5-0. That, as you said, that could have been an 8 or a 9 if we kept going.
But there is something special about beating a team in their own ground, 5-0. Against, you know what I mean? I mean, this is Anfield. It's 7. Okay, it's 2 goals more, and it's a record for them, a record loss. But 5-0 at Old Trafford I mean, that'd be like them beating us 5-0 at Anfield. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, you could make a compilation video. We beat them 4-0 at Anfield last year.
Yeah.
Remember that? We could have beaten them 6-0 last year. Yeah. We absolutely pissed on them last year. Diaz scored, remember? So, I mean, The biggest thing for me was the I think it was overconfident from United. I think they took their eye off the ball. I really do. And as you say, they weren't coming into it as unbelievable form as you would think.
Yeah,
I think it was a false sense of security.
They're so desperate to get. And I don't want to sound like I'm a bitter Liverpool fan. We've been watching football for 50 years, right? It does go in cycles, and when it's bad, it's never really as bad as you think it is, and when it's good, it's never really as good as you think it is. And that's why I'm not getting so down in the dumps about where Liverpool are. We know we're going to have investment in the summer. We've had an amazing couple of years, but I think with the United fans, like, they've been in the doldrums since 2013, and probably even, I know they won the league that year, but Ferguson left, and they were a declining animal by that stage. They've never gotten back to that.
Ferguson was in the ground yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, they've never gotten back to that, and that's why I just think they're clutching at any kind of fucking straw.
I don't think they'll ever get back to that level.
I don't think they will. They won't.
Ferguson level?
Not at all. And for lots of reasons.
There's a lot of teams around as well.
Yeah,
you've Newcastle, you've City, you've us, you've
Spurs
Spurs getting better. Arsenal,
Ferguson was one of a kind as well. You have to give him that credit. But they'll never get back. It's way too competitive now for them to ever dominate like they used to. But they're just clutching at straws now. They won the Carabao. Great, delighted for them. But they're not going to win the Champions League. They can't. They're not going to win the league. No fucking way. Now, I think your man's done a good job, and he'll be.
They'll get better, Ivan. They'll get better.
Of course, they get better, and he'll be like Klopp, and he'll use this as an input to training during the week, and they'll probably go out and smash whoever they have at the weekend.
They're playing Real Betis, I think, on Thursday.
Betis on Thursday.
In Europa.
You would know. So they'll either knock on from it and take it on the chin, and it'll improve them, or this could be another fucking collapse. Because that's 7-0. What? 7-0.
If you would have fell asleep, similar to the Real Madrid game, when Liverpool were 2-0 up and you fall asleep, wake up and you lose 4-2. If you fall asleep after, say, just before Gakpo scores or 40 minutes, you're not saying 7-0. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, worst nightmare for a United fan and a dream for a fucking Liverpool. Surrealism at its best. The United players at Anfield froze like rabbits in headlights. It was like Watership Down. I was crying at Watership Down, and I'd say the United fans are crying yesterday. United forgot that this is Anfield. Look, I think they did forget it. I just thought it was too much swagger talk on Friday from all the pundits, and look, maybe they had some sort of element to say, well, Liverpool are at their ultimate best. They're a bit fragile at the moment. Now, as you say, if they score a goal, if that Fernandes shot or Rashford goal, maybe we're talking something different here.
But that's
obviously because goals change games.
Absolutely. Like we had a couple of chances at the start, we didn't take them either. And I just think to get through there yesterday with a clean sheet, and to go through that 15 minutes of a wobble in the second half of the first half, and then just score. Like we were clinical. We took our chances, and like I celebrated.
For once, we were actually unbelievably clinical. 90% conversion rate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking unheard of, as you said. Yeah. But look, I think we've got to build on this now, Ivan. I mean, we have I've said it last week. It's a banana skin. Bournemouth away Saturday, for the very fact that we're expected to hammer them, and we beat them 9-0 at Anfield. So anything other than a 2-3-0 there. Look, I take 1-0 now. It's about winning games now, but.
They took Arsenal to the 97th minute. Yeah. They took Arsenal.
You've got to build. You've got to build.
They took Arsenal to the 97th minute on Saturday.
Exactly. Right? They were 2-0 up.
Yeah. So
but that's
pointless.
What I'm saying.
If we don't win on Saturday, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you can't get yourself up or feel confident, the likes of Salah now is looking at goals records. He's looking. I can get more goals in this season. Even Nunes at 2, Gakpo. Those three should be on fire now. Just saying, geez, every game I'm going to score a goal here, at least one. Yeah. Defensively, we're looking tight enough. The midfield played really well. I was really impressed with Fabinho, Henderson, and Elliott. I think where we won the game was midfield because it gave the front three the license to attack and not be too worried about looking behind them.
They were doing it in 2s and 3s. Like one or two of the goals came from us taking the ball off them in midfield and just being at them, snapping at them, and getting the ball forward quickly. So I think, you're right. I thought it was a strange one leaving out Bakatic because he's played so well, but Harvey's played really well as well. And I think
it worked. It worked.
Did work.
I had a little fear in me when I seen Hendo Fab, and I was saying, hasn't quite, the energy, but the energy was there. I think the crowd, I think the crowd made, I did say Friday that the crowd will not allow Liverpool not have energy. They will not let them be lethargic or take it for granted or anything, because it's the biggest game in the league for Anfield. You know what I mean? It's bigger than Everton, it's bigger than City, it's bigger than Arsenal. So the crowd itself, I think, had a big part to play as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But it's like 4:30 on a Sunday. The sky goes red over there. It's weird. Something special happens there, and those big games, like it really does. It's a magical stadium.
Well, what do we call Old Trafford? Is the theatre of dreams. Liverpool is the theatre of reality, baby.
Yeah. Incredible.
It's pure reality.
Incredible. Yeah. So we have to build on this, and we have to get 3 points on Saturday. Like I'm convinced. I was convinced we get top 4 anyway. Like yesterday.
Well, I'm more convinced now after fucking. I mean, if you asked us 3-4 weeks ago, I still thought, look, Liverpool, we've been there, done that. We've players coming back. We still have Diaz and Thiago to come in here. By the way, I know we've 3 tough ones straight after the 2-week break, the international break. We've got City away, Chelsea away, Arsenal. I think we'll be up for them games, though.
Of course we will. Of course, and I think if we're taking points off them, let's go for third.
Plus, we've something to play for now.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
To play for. Yeah,
we've actually something to concentrate on. And who knows what happens next week in the Bernabeu? I think that game is just put by the side.
Well,
we just got to concentrate on Bournemouth the weekend.
The first thing I did after the Champions League game last week was I put a tenner on us at 40-1 to win the Champions League, because it could happen.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, anything's fucking. I mean, I think was it 0-0 yesterday? Real Betis in Madrid.
I'm not. It was either a draw or they lost. I just saw a headline.
No, it was 0-0. And the funny thing about it was Real Betis play United on Thursday, and Madrid play Liverpool the following week. And apparently, I heard a thing on Sky. One of the girls, reporter, was talking to Ancelotti and the Real Betis manager, and all they were talking about was Liverpool winning 7-0.
Brilliant.
Because United played the other team, and Liverpool played the other team. So
Brilliant.
Who knows?
Yeah,
never give up, as Mo Salah would say in his T-shirt.
Oh, no.
So
he was brilliant yesterday as well.
Well, listen, unbelievable yesterday. But let's talk about the King of Egypt, Mosalah, breaking the record, 129 Premier League goals, and something like 220 games or something, like a ridiculous record.
60 fewer games than Fowler, I think, or 63
different level.
Yeah. And
so
again,
we do a little 7-8 minute appreciation show of the King, Mo Salah.
I think they were saying it yesterday. Was it Souness, I think, said it? It's only in 20 years' time when he's not playing, and you actually look back at the numbers, it will just blow everybody off the charts. And I think. Like you don't get a 30-year-old or a 31-year-old to sign a. He's
31 in June, I think.
Yeah, if you don't get him to sign a 5-year deal, if you think his legs are going to go right,
he's super fit. He's like a blade to see him.
See him yesterday. He takes his top off.
He's like little hands growing out of his side. They're like them little muscles either side of his ribs.
Incredible. So he's going to score. He could score another 200 goals. Like seriously, he's just fucking.
I mean, I don't know about 200, but I mean, like he'll. Look, Salah's important for us. I mean, he's never, touch wood, he's never injured. He's never fucking injured.
Never injured.
I think he'd get injured if he's rested.
Yeah.
His muscles are so tense and so finely tuned that he needs to be either working out or fucking playing football.
Yeah. It's like Ronaldo. Exactly the same. Never injured. Looks after himself. Super fit. Super strong. Just incredible,
Super concentrate or super intelligent, concentrate on just one thing, and that's scoring bleeding goals. That's all he really. I know he said the other day records, and the team obviously is important. The team win, but all good strikers and top class. Ronaldo's the same. I'm sure Mbappe, all these, even Haaland.
You could see when
they want to go out and score a goal every game, even in training.
The second goal, he knew that he'd broken the record, and he celebrated like he knew he broke the record.
Took the top off, got a yellow card. Took the top
off, absolutely. So he's superb when he's on form.
Did you ever see when Liverpool were over in Evian, I think it was, in France in the pre-season training? They did like a tournament. It's like a table tennis tournament. Salah won the little trophy at the end, and it was like the bleeding Champions League. He was smiling with the trophy. Everything he goes in. Everything he goes into, he wants to fuck. If it's tiddlywinks, Monopoly, let's hope he doesn't play Monopoly against Naby Keita, because then he would get injured. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything he wants, he just wants to win. He's got that winning mentality.
Yeah. He, like we were saying a couple of years ago, that he's a very predictable player. Like, you know what he wants when he's playing on the right.
You can't fucking stop
exactly. Now, I think he had become very predictable, and people were kind of
they were doubling up on him.
They were doubling up on him, but now he's back to it. I thought he was. Sorry, my dog.
I thought that was me.
No, my dog's looking for a treat.
That's all right.
Yesterday, he was just unplayable. He was absolutely.
Eamon Kelly saying his best game of season yesterday. Yeah, no, he's had a few. I mean, he got a hat trick against Rangers. I mean, he's a great record against United. I think it's 6 United games in a row he scored. Even though that game we lost 2-1, he scored that goal. So he scored in the last 6 against United. Even that's a bleeding record. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Long may it continue. Long may it continue. And another thing I heard today, I don't know whether it's true or not, I think it is from the person I heard it from, that Jude Bellingham's representatives were in the crowd watching the game. Now, if you're watching that game now, I'm sure it's spread all over the world. You're looking at that going, Liverpool still have it here. And that's how big that game was yesterday, that Liverpool got something out of it. For that very fact. You did not want to get United beating us there tomorrow. Because that would have said, geez, Liverpool, I'm not quite out. You know what I mean?
I agree.
The win. I think it's huge even for the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had, like, you can't deny, like, we nearly did football fucking history last season, right? We were minutes away from winning everything.
Don't remind me.
No, but seriously, so like that can't not have a negative impact on the team physically, mentally. You know, they must have been absolutely just blasted by that. And then, you know, we've a bit of a bad start, and, you know, 1 or 2 players out of form. But you don't just go from being nearly the greatest team ever to being really, really, really bad, you know. And I think yesterday wasn't perfect.
I think it was a low. Yesterday just gave a little glimmer and a hint to all the other teams, even City and whatever. Liverpool aren't going away any time soon. Yeah. We get the right investment in the summer. The likes of a Jude Bellingham, maybe a Mason Mount, maybe a bit of right back cover for Trent, and maybe even a centre half.
I think
maybe even something else up front with Bobby leaving. And we have to have a little chat about Bobby, obviously, now in a minute, because I haven't talked to you since we heard the news. Bobby Firmino is leaving in the summer. Now, I think it's perfect timing for him to come on against United and get the goal. It was just fucking icing on the cake. But Bobby's been great for us, Ivan. I mean, he's a different type of player. There's not many players. I don't even know a player like him. He's so unusual.
Yeah, he was the name that my son got on his first jersey 7 or 8 years ago.
No look.
No look. And the type of role that he's played, just totally selfless, scored lots of goals, assisted lots of goals. His attitude
smiles a lot.
He knows what it means to the crowd. He scored some massive, massive goals for us. I remember the one in the World Club final. He's just been an absolutely incredible player to have in the team. And for me, at their peak, part of the best front three we've ever had with Salah and Mane, when they were on fire, jeepers, they were just unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable.
Niall from the upper tier, big up lads. How's everyone Monday after that tremendous sun? I tell you what, it was nice and easy in work today. There's 3 United fans hiding underneath their desk. Didn't see them for 1 second. And one of them turned around to me and said he didn't watch the game.
Shut up.
I don't watch them anymore, he said. Oh, my. And you should have seen him when he won the League Cup. He was fucking running around the office. Stop the lights, will you? Check out the upper tier on YouTube. Top Shankly sessions. And Doug from the Dugout Football Channel's in as well. Give them a sub. Show them your love for number 7, baby. Oswald, Elliott man the match for me. But just my humble opinion, Elliott was brilliant yesterday. I thought Gakpo was unbelievable. Go, Gakpo was brilliant.
Konate had a very good game as well. Konate was really good at the back.
Konate and Van Dijk, that's the partnership for me. Yeah. I mean, I actually thought Trent did a good game yesterday. He got caught once or twice, but
Yeah.
And I still don't know why they didn't have Rashford on Trent's side. That didn't
totally.
make sense to me.
Totally.
I think that was a mistake by
Yeah.
Ten Hag.
Yeah, no, I think again he was looking at using the pace down the middle, and he was playing your man Weghorst kind of behind Rashford, with Bruno on the left. But again, maybe he thought that he'd have a better chance of playing him down the middle on Van Dijk. And in fairness, he got a run on Van Dijk in that first half, and he outdid him for pace, So maybe he thought he'd get more change down the middle than he would on Trent. I think Hendo did a good bit of covering for Trent on the right hand side. He looked lively yesterday. So
I thought Firmino now is starting the last 2 games is starting to look like the Fabinho we all know.
Yeah, he had a good bit of bite about him yesterday. He was winning the ball, just nicking it away from them yesterday. Involved in a couple of the goals. Thought he was really good.
The expanded Anfield next season deserves Champions League. I heard a rumor that the Anfield stand might not be available ready for August because apparently there was a company involved doing the cladding or something outside, and they went into administration, so they had to. Yeah, this was before Christmas. They had to look around, and maybe they've got someone else in. But I've been keeping an eye on the stand. There's a guy that does a drone thing. I don't know whether you know it. He does a drone around the ground. He's always on Twitter, and he nearly every day he does it. So every week he sees it.
I think they've made a good bit of progress on it.
The job is it's open for the first game next season, which is August. But touch and go. But I mean, that'll give us even more fucking, more of a crowd shouting and screaming at Liverpool. And I'm not saying it'll make it any easier to get a ticket because it won't. You know what I mean? But Mo was just unbelievable yesterday. But as I said, I think it was an all over performance, especially second half. But goals change games. That ball from Robertson, the finish from Gakpo just before half time, and the crowd lit the paper, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Great ball from Robertson. And again, like we said at the start, when you're scoring goals, if you're scoring 3 and 4 goals a game, you don't really mind conceding one here or there. But we just hadn't been scoring a lot of goals, and we were getting exposed then with little mistakes. So to have the 3 or 4 lads on absolute fire is brilliant.
Ridiculous. I'm going to live off this result, Ivan, all week, to be fair. Now up to the Bournemouth, maybe up to Friday when we do something for the Bournemouth game, because you've got to. It's a once in a 90. It's a once in a generational result when you think about it. It's never happened before for Liverpool. It's the biggest win against United. They can say what they want. They know deep down you do not get beaten 7-0 by your rivals, no matter what, even if it's a fucking friendly. You just don't do it because, it gives us confidence now for the rest of the season. If they would have beat us yesterday, Ivan, it would have deflated us.
Oh, it would have been. I couldn't imagine what it would have done. Horrible. Like, just even thinking about it makes me fucking sick in the stomach.
I mean,
luckily, I know exactly how they're feeling.
Luckily, we haven't been thinking about it much. We got beaten early in the season 2-1, and we were absolutely shite that game.
Shocking.
Shocking. I've been watching the Man United fan reaction channels. I have been watching a bit of a binge with a nice cup of tea and a Kit Kat. That's your trick, baby. Or maybe a glass of 7-Up. Who knows? But guys, I think we'll leave it there. Ivan, I mean, I've enjoyed that. A good 33 minutes in. It was 7 o'clock. It was 7-Up time. It was S Club 7. I don't know whether you used to like S Club 7. Do you remember them?
Not bad, yeah.
I mean, unbelievable stuff. Liverpool beat United by 7-0. Hit the like, hit the share. Thank you very much for popping in. We'll do a lot more content. I must have done about 15 shorts at this stage. It's unbelievable. It's like someone will have so many shorts. It's like bleeding in the middle of June. Guys, thanks for popping in. Talk soon. Stay safe. Let's talk about 7, baby. Let's talk about a trophy. Let's go. Stay soon. See ya. You'll never walk alone. Thanks, guys. Cheers.